Hi, this is Katie Sunshine. So I started hooping about 4 years ago. I was at a music festival in Ozark, Arkansas, one of my favorite ones, Harvest Fest. And I saw a girl there who was hoop dancing, and I had never seen anybody do that before. I was completely mesmerized by her, hypnotized by her. I had never seen anybody do what she had done. And so she was my first inspiration. She totally inspired me to pick up a hoop. So once I left Harvest Fest, I went to Walmart. I bought just a cheap Walmart hoop, started practicing, and that was 4 years ago now. Hooping is a challenge. It is challenging to learn new tricks. It's challenging to invent new tricks. You're required to use your creativity when you're doing both of those things. I like that about hooping. And when you're challenged with a new trick and you finally get the trick, it gives you such a great feeling of accomplishment. That's another wonderful thing about hooping. Hooping is good for so many things. When I come home and I'm stressed out, I can put on some slow music and hoop for a little while and I can relax. If I'm tired and just feeling kind of run down, I can put on some upbeat music and hoop for a while and re-energize myself. And also when I'm hooping, I'm listening to great music, I'm moving my body, I'm getting into shape, I'm burning calories, I'm feeling good. And hooping also just makes me feel sexy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And actually that's another wonderful thing about hula hooping. It really gives you the power to be in control of your own sexiness. And that's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with feeling sexy. I mean, feeling sexy requires a strong sense of self-worth. It requires a high self-esteem. And there's nothing wrong with that, not in my opinion. Let's see. I also love hooping for the community that has come along with it. That when I started hooping, I would have never expected this part, but it's a huge reason why I love hooping. I've gotten to know some other girls in my area who hula hoop, and we get together as often as we can and hula hoop and share new tricks and tell stories and congregate. I've also got to meet the wonderful ladies out at Hoopnautica in California, thanks to hula hooping. Some more wonderful people there that I never would have run into had it not been for hula hooping. And finally, I just cannot imagine how my life would be without hula hooping now. There have been so many opportunities. I have been blessed with so many opportunities thanks to hula hooping. It's crazy. My advice, first and foremost, for beginner hoopers is to practice. Hooping just takes so much practice to learn all of the tricks. Chest hooping, for example, I practiced chest hooping for probably 4 or 5 months before I got it down, practicing maybe an hour every day. And so you can imagine about month 4, when I had practiced every day and I still could not get chest hooping down, I was getting pretty frustrated and I almost gave up. I almost said to myself, I'm just not even going to ever learn how to do that, so I'll just learn other tricks. But I kept at it, and finally I got chest hooping down, and now it's a huge part of my routine. So point of the story is, practice is the #1 piece of advice I can tell to beginner hoopers. Also, I would say find music you like to play when you're practicing. I think that will help with your flow because you're going to be bumping to the beat and moving your body. It's also going to make it not really feel like you're doing work when you're practicing. It's going to make it fun, and then you'll practice longer. Also, for new hoopers, when you are practicing, make sure you're wearing tight-fitting clothes, shorts, tank tops that fit pretty tight. Loose clothes tend to start to get twisted around your body as the hoop is making rotations around your body, and that doesn't happen quite so much with tight-fitting clothes. Also, it sounds kind of silly, but clothes that expose a lot of skin is actually helpful. You're not just trying to get attention, it actually has a function in hooping. The hoop will stick to your skin as opposed to fabric where it tends to, the traction is just not there. It can slip across the fabric, it can slip and fly off of your body. So when you are trying to learn those new, really challenging tricks, it's best if you can try it the first few times with somewhere where your skin is exposed so you know that that hoop is going to stick to your body. For example, my shoulder trick where I'm hooping on my shoulder and then I duck my head out, that's a trick that even now I have to make sure that my shoulder is exposed to be able to do that trick. If I am wearing a shirt with sleeves and I try to do that trick, about half the time it flies off my shoulder, and so I have to either make sure I can pull my sleeve up or be prepared to catch it. That's another thing. When you are hooping, you will never get to the point where you don't make mistakes. So you can get to the point though where if you make a mistake, you can make it look like it wasn't a mistake. And that's another piece of advice I would have. If you make a mistake, just keep on going. See if you can mold it into a new trick or just kind of incorporate it into your routine. And of course that takes a lot of practice, which goes back to my first tip. And so still today, I mean, I make mistakes all of the time. If you drop the hoop, just pick it up, keep on going, keep practicing. I would also suggest, as best you can, try to get involved with your hoop community. That was something that I've learned so many new tricks, getting to know other hoopers in my area and getting connected with people who have the same interests I do. I mean, not only does it help you with your tricks, but it will encourage you to practice because maybe you have meetings with these people that you meet up with. Also, just for the sense of community, making new friends and getting to know some really cool new people, that's a great experience too. And I really would encourage new hoopers to get involved with that. And that would be my advice for new hoopers. The last thing I'll say about hula hooping is that I am really fortunate to have found the thing that makes me happy, and it truly does. I love hooping, I love painting, I've got such wonderful friends and family. I'm a really fortunate girl, and the one thing I would say is I would just encourage other people to find the thing in their life that makes them happy and just go for it. That's what I've done with hooping, and it has been nothing but a blessing for me, and so I would just wish the same for everybody else. Bye.